Hello, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. This is the final hour. We've done it. I mean, have we? So, in this episode, will we able to make it? Let's see what 4 hours do in a city building game, building a city. In order to find out, of course, we're gonna have to wait the end of the episode to see how far have we reached and what have we accomplished. But there's another question that begs an answer. And the question is, what have I learned by doing this? Is there something to be learned? Well, let me tell you, there's a lot to be learned about this. So, for starters, it has been a fun experience. I mean, a little stressy, to be honest, because as I've told you, I mean, I'm not very much a speed running guy. This would have been better for a speed running person, for someone who does speed runs, who enjoys speed runs, because when you have a limited amount of time to do something, you have to do it fast. And me and fast, well, we sit on two different planes, so yeah, not really going to happen. Because, you know, I like to take my time, I like to see how things are made, and I like to... Also, sometimes I also like to watch my city grow, just, you know, let it run and watch. So I'm not much of a speedrunning guy. And this is reflected to whatever I accomplished there. See, this for example. What I'm doing here, I'm straightening the highway because I don't like these very ample curves. I mean, yes, they do exist in real life, but I think sometimes you tend to build a straight line, and then when you have to curve, you curve. I mean, of course, you want to have a radius wide enough for a highway, because this is a high-speed network, and you do want to have a wide radius curve, but not that wide, so I try to fix them. This is one of the things that I do. But doing this takes time. I have now spent, almost 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes on this. In the long scheme of things, 4 minutes or 5 minutes are a very long time, especially when you only have 1 hour to accomplish something. So this is one of the things that, it's the things that I had to face while doing this build. The lack of relaxing time, because this kind of games for me is kind of a relaxing experience, like doing, model railroads, something like that. And that's more of a hobby than a high-octane, first-person shooter kind of experience. But what have I learned? Well, I mean, I think when building a city, take any map, any city map in the world, big or small, it doesn't matter. Either it's a huge metropolis or it's just a small little town. What you would find, just go on Google Earth or on maps, on whatever, pull up a map, a satellite picture of a city. What is the first thing that you notice? I mean, even if you don't look closely, even if you just look at a glance, the first thing that you notice is that 90 to 95% of what a city is. What is a city? Well, 90 to 95% of a city is just homes and businesses, and the places where people either live or work. And that's the vast majority of what a city is. Then there's a small percentage that's made by, I don't know, parks, stadiums, landmarks, airports, huge commercial malls, stuff like that. But that's a very, very small percentage. The vast majority of the things, even things like power plants or ports, huge ship ports, those may be big, but those are still a small percentage of what a city is. Oh, by the way, I unlocked the last style that I was going to unlock in this game, in this play. So right now I can finish this hedge, which was just too straight to be realistic. It's not much better like that, like it is now, but it's still better than what it was before. So I was saying that, yeah, this is the majority of what a city is. Just homes and businesses and places where people either live or work. And this is reflected in the game. When you are building a city, the vast majority of the time you'll be zoning basically for homes or businesses or offices or industrial areas. And so even the map gets covered by this kind of stuff. That's the stuff that makes up cities. 90% of cities is that. So what am I getting at? Well, what I'm trying to say is this. The vast majority of time you will spend by zoning, just zoning. And that's what takes the vast majority of time. Only a small percentage, I mean, you will devote a lot of time in building, like, say, a park or an airport, for example, because those things, to be made correctly in the game, they need time. But you still have to zone a lot of the city to make it grow. So that's where the majority of the time goes in. I don't know if my point came across adequately, but I think you understood what I was trying to say. Now, in the meantime, we have passed the half-hour mark, and we're still zoning, but at the same time, we're trying to finish what we can about the city, to make it at least look half decent. Now, what is a European city without a stadium? A football stadium. That's right. And of course, with a lot of parking, because that's what a stadium needs. want to move these power plants over, make room for more stuff, maybe more industry. I have a huge industrial demand. I don't have a plaza that fits. The only one that fits is this one, but I don't really like this one. This is, I mean, looks like zombies on the plaza. It's the plaza of, what is that? The plaza of the living dead, I don't know, something like that. I really hate that plaza, but I mean, I guess that has to do with some morbid kind of aesthetic that sometimes this game has. Look at that waves. Okay, so this area, I want to finish it as a messy European, old part of town. And the messier the roads, the better. It reflects some kind of natural growth. And yes, another thing that you will always find in European cities, especially important cities, is a cathedral. And sometimes what will happen is that all the homes would grow around the cathedral, exactly like it's happening here. By the way, this save game is going to be available on my workshop. So if you want to go ahead and grab it and even finish it, just go ahead and do it. You have my permission. I mean, although if I put it on the workshop, I guess you don't need my permission. But you get my point. You can go ahead and modify it and do it, as you please. We are importing. That means that our industry is not producing enough goods. Now, importing is not necessarily a bad thing. It's bad for the economy, because if you produce everything locally, your industry will output more revenue. Instead, if they have to buy products from other cities, the game has this kind of mechanics, other cities, then they're going to output less and less profits. Six minutes, people. We are almost there. Then you can already see the shape that the city is taking. And of course, you'll be the judge of what happens next. With 3 minutes in, we have no more time to waste on making things pretty, even though this is going against all of my fibers, because I really want to make things pretty, but at the same time I understand there's a time constraint. And we have reached Colossal City. Technically we have unlocked another tile, but we're not gonna use it, because time is already running out. So, ladies and gentlemen, final hour. Were we able to make it? Were we able to make a viable city? I don't know. This is what I was able to come up with in 4 hours of gameplay. before I sign off, this has been really fun. It's been, fun racing against time. It's been fun developing a city in a 4-hour window, hour by hour. So this has been really interesting, funny, and yeah. Also, I like how these videos have been received on my channel. Of course, the first video has really, gotten a lot of traction. It's doing really, really well. Almost at 2,000 views now, which for my channel is something. I would like to thank all of you for showing up for this series. I have new projects that are really exciting coming up down the pipeline, so stay tuned. I will see you next time.